Today's topic is principles of orchard establishment. Orcharding is a long-term investment. Generally, fruits are perennial in nature. Once you planted in particular area, then they lives there for too long period. Fruit plants once planted remain devoted to the land for many years. Being perennial in nature, any mistake committed during initial year on the part of planning is hard to rectify during later years. Hence, all the factors having bearing on growth, production and overall performance of the orchard should be given type priority. So, while you are establishing orchard, some principles should be followed, and these principles are: all factors which are essential for successful orcharding, from principles in establishment of orchard to make orcharding successful, the following determinant of principles may be taken into account. First one is suitable location and site. While you are selecting location and site, you should consider that it should be in the fruit growing area. And second point is soil. It should also be considered, that is, soil should be of a good nature, proper texture. I will tell you detail in next. Next is climate. Climate should also be considered as per the availability of climate in particular zones. You should select respective fruit plants. Layout, etc. you should also consider. There are so many techniques of layout. Which one is suits to you better should be followed. And planning. Before establishing an orchard, you should know and do the detailed planning of orchard establishment. Now, suitable location and site. Location denotes the situation in relation to a well-known place. The site indicates the specific place where orcharding is to be practiced. The following requirements favor selection of suitable location and site. The first point is the orcharding in already established fruit belt should be preferred. In established area, the government aids, subsidies, etc. become easily available to the growers. All technical inputs, skilled labor, specific equipment, etc. can be easily approached, hired, procured in such areas. The orchard produce is highly perishable in nature. Quick disposal of the produce is necessary to prevent losses. For this, the site should be well connected by road or rail or other means of transportation. The market should be in the vicinity of orcharding site. It reduces transport costs. The orchard crops being intensely cared, the availability of workforce should be properly understood. The orcharding should not be located in hot spot area. It means where there is a problem of pest and diseases are already incurring, so such sites should not be selected for establishing of an orchard, which makes the plant vulnerable to pest or diseases. The selected site should be away from industrial establishment. The wastage and emissions of industrial origin badly affect the growth and production of the orchard. The site should not be a wind or flood prone area. Now, the next point is soil. Soil serves as a base for growing of plants. The suitable soil for fruit growing should possess following properties. It should be fertile, deep and well drained. In Rajasthan, especially in western part, the soil is underlaid with hard layer of moram, that is calcium carbonate. Such soils do not favor proper growth of plants. It should be free from waterlogging. Waterlogging is especially harmful for peach, papaya and citrus. Tamarind, jamun, date palm, coconut, etc. can sustain waterlogging condition to some extent In waterlogged soil, majority of fruit plants fail to grow due to choked aeration in root zone. The soil should preferably be neutral in reaction, that is, it is around 7 pH. The pH above 7 restricts the scope of fruit cultivation, and plants like date, bear, amla, grape, guava, karonda, mulberry can grow with proper care under higher pH soil. Soil moisture condition is another major consideration for the growth of the plants. Soil retentive of moisture fibers growth and production of plants. In sandy soil, water holding capacity is very poor. The applied water moves away from the root zone of the plant very quickly and becomes unavailable to the plants. Light texture soil can be used for fruit cultivation by improving its water retention capacity. There are so many ways by which you can improve the water retention capacity of the soils. Just by adding some other materials like bentonite clay or clay from the ponds. Problematic soils such as eroded, mined, gullied, ravine, etc. create problem in fruit cultivation. Severely affected soil are very difficult to bring under cultivation for fruit plants. Now, climate is very important consideration. It is important determinant of selecting a site for the cultivation of a particular type of fruit plants. Fruit plants have a different type of adaptability to different types of climate condition. As per climatic adaptability, fruit plants have been classified into 3 groups: tropical, subtropical and temperate types. India is a country where all 3 types of climatic conditions occurs. Selection of a particular type of climate for a particular fruit plant is necessary for successful orcharding. Now, planning is planning is very important. Planning deals with overall aspect of orcharding. Orchard buildings, roads, paths, fencing, windbreaks, layout systems of planting, spacing of planting, etc. are especially emphasized in planning. Generally, 10% of the total area is left aside for building roads, paths, tube wells, channels, etc. At the very entry of the orchard, provision of bach hut should be made. Farm building should be located in the center of the orchard. Provision of storage house, packing, etc. should be made while planning the orchard. Roads approaching every corner of the orchard should be provided, and preferably the cut roads should be at right angle. Generally, a road of 10 to 15 feet serves the purpose of movement of cars, motors and machinery inside the orchard. Provision of irrigation in the orchard should be made properly. If it is a bore well, it should be dug at a place suitable to feed the water requirement of entire orchard. In some areas, the grower use canal water to irrigate the orchard. In these areas, construction of farm pond is necessary to have a regular supply of irrigation water as per need of the orchard. The pond should be sufficiently deep and adequate storage capacity. Facility of water supply is essential in view of installation of deep irrigation systems also. Orchard crops are intentionally cared ones. Once damaged, fruit plants hardly recover properly. Their protection from stray animals is necessary. Temporary fencing may be created using Caricia carandas, Inga dulcis and other thorny plants. Preference should be given to permanent fencing, which is created using angle iron pole and barbed wire. Poles of 8 to 10 feet height are sufficient for the purpose. These poles are drilled at an interval of 1.5 to 20 centimeter, at an interval of 15-20 centimeter, through which barbed wires are stretched to create fence. Wind break. Wind break is very important aspect of orchard planning. It consists of planting of tall trees along with the boundary of the orchard. Wind break helps the orchard in following ways. It converts the windward side into leeward side and reduces the velocity of the wind. Then maintains favorable microclimate in orchard by reducing moisture removal and minimizing rate of transpiration, prevents dropping of flowers and fruits, prevents the orchards during winter from cold wind waves and during summer from hot wind waves. So they are very important. At the most, 2 rows of windbreaks are planted in the orchard. Windbreaks are planted normally in northwestern side of the orchard, that is northwest directions. These sites are sensitive for cold and hot winds respectively. Generally, windbreak are planted at 5 meters interval. Tall trees of jamun, seedling mango, neem, sisam, kamrak, chilbil, bakayan, karanj, chironji, shetut, etc. are suitable for windbreak planting in the orchard. The first row of plants should be planted 5 meters away from the second row of the windbreak trees. Now, layout. The orchard is laid out as per following systems of planting. There are 6 systems of planting which should be utilized by the orchardists, by the growers. First one is square system. It is the most easy and popular method of planting fruit plants. In this system, row to row and plant to plant distance are kept similar. The plants are planted exactly at right angle at each corner, as you see in figure 6.1. Thus, every 4 plants make one square. Intercultural operations can be done in both directions as the distances between trees and rows are similar. Adequate space is there to go for intercultivation of remunerative crops like vegetables. The second system of planting is rectangular systems. The field is laid out into rectangular shape plot, keeping more space between row and row. The plant to plant distance is kept comparatively lesser, you see in the figure 6.2. Thus, rectangular system accommodates more plants in rows. Intercultural operations can be carried out through both ways. The plants get proper space and sunlight for their growth and development. Third one is hexagonal system. This system accommodates 15% more plants than a square system. It allows 3 directional cultivation in the orchard. In this system, the orchard is laid out similar to a rectangular system. The diagonals of rectangles are intersected to form equilateral triangles. The trees are planted at the vertex of each equilateral triangle. Thus, 6 trees from a hexagon with the 7th tree in the center. Hence, this system is also called as septule, as it accommodates 7th tree in the center. The hexagonal system is considered as a grid of contiguous equilateral triangle in which the length of each arm of the triangle is desired tree to tree distance. This is very intensive method of planting and hence requires fertile land. In the suburb of cities where land is costly, this system is worth adoption. However, the laying out of system is hard and cumbersome. You see in figure 6.3, that is hexagonal system of planting. Now, quincunx system. This system is similar to a square system except one additional plant is planted in the center of each square. The plants that are planted in the center of each square along with tall growing plants at the corners of squares are termed as filler plants. These plants are planted with a view to generate income when the main orchard plant is under non-bearing stage. Filler plants also ensure proper utilization of otherwise left space between rows of trees. These plants are usually short statured and early bearing. When main plants of the orchard resume their proper shape, the filler plants are uprooted. Guava, quinoa, falsa, plum, peaches, papaya, etc. are important as filler plants. You see in diagram 6.4, that is quincunx system of planting. Now, contour system. It is adapted in hilly areas for planting fruit plants where land is undulated and soil erosion is a great threat. Under such circumstances, contour terrace is developed by scraping and leveling the hill slope. Planting is done along the terraces. The width of contour terrace varies according to the shape of the hill, according to the slope of the hill. Plant spacing also varies according to width of terraces. At steep hill slope, the width is kept narrower. Now, intensive planting system for orcharding, that is high density planting. Accommodating more number of plants per unit area than what is accommodated under normal planting system is referred to as high density planting. It is one of the most efficient methods of heightening productivity per unit area of land in fruit crops which are perennial in nature. SDP is more useful as it helps in efficient utilization of land and other resources, better canopy management, farm mechanization, convenient spray of pesticide, harvesting, high yield of improved quality, and consequently in getting higher net return. High density planting is achieved by using dwarf rootstocks, interstocks, resorting to dwarf sign variety, following spray of growth regulators, regulating shape of plant, and adopting suitable management practices. In India, good success has been reported in high density planting in fruit crops like apple, peach, pear, plum, sweet cherry, banana, papaya, and pineapple. High density planting has also been successfully demonstrated in mango, guava, and citrus, and 2-3 times more yield has been realized. However, in plantation crops like coconut and areca nut, the concept of SDP is realized by opting multi-crop species cropping system. Such type of cropping system favors accommodation of more number of plants, though of different crop species per unit area of land. In fruit crops, lack availability of dwarf planting material is a major constant in promoting SDP. Besides high density planting being intensive in nature, demand for high capital investment proves another constant in commercial adaptation of high density planting. Meadow orcharding, this system has its origin in Israel. It consists of planting trees in ultra low spacing. In this system, planting is followed at a distance of 45 to 75 cm within row and 210 to 270 cm between rows. The system accommodates ultra high density of plants varying from 30,000 to 1 lakh trees on a hectare basis. The plant is cut regularly at the height close to the ground. This system rules heavily on the use of growth regulators. Thank you for patience hearing.